Okay, we're back in Crown Heights, and today's New York Times, Sunday, August 7, so you could see that, 2016. In the obituary section, there is a long piece on Elena Doria, 90. She was the firm leader of Met's Children's Chorus. That's a picture of her. She just passed away. And this is the whole article here. And it's a little hard to see, but here, just give you an idea. So she was in charge of the children's chorus in the Metropolitan Opera. Now, this brought back memories to my father because, in what year were you in the Met Children's Opera?
1960, 1961, and 1962.
So from 1960 to 1962, you sang
At the old Metropolitan Opera House, on Broadway and 39th Street.
So that at the old Metropolitan Opera House at Broadway and 39th Street. That was before they moved to Lincoln Center. And you sang in a number of...
I was in Tosca, which was my favorite. I was in La Boheme. I was in Macbeth, Turandot.
And a number of others.
And a number of others.
You also sang with Richard Tucker, I believe, at one point.
Richard Tucker, yes.
Which opera was it?
That was in Tosca. We happened to be performing on Friday night.
Oh.
In the second act, the table is set with candles, and Richard Tucker looked up before the curtain went up. He looked out at all the people watching from the wings. I was there with my mother. And he said, "Good Shabbos," naturally.
Oh, what year was it?
Probably 1962.
How do you know that you were Jewish?
He might have recognized my mother. They grew up together on
Oh.
both sides.
Right. Well, Richard Tucker, his real last name wasn't Tucker.
His name was Ruby Ticker.
Ruby Ticker.
The Tickers were from. And when they played outside on Shabbos, the Tickers could not write in chalk on the
Pavement.
sidewalk, on the pavement. So the other Fry children, they did the writing. And Ruby had a wonderful voice then, and he and my Aunt Anne would stay in the little courtyard behind the house and sing in the alley. And then people in the apartments would throw down pennies as a appreciation.
I believe that Bobby Ruth, that's your mother, she mentioned that she claimed, I don't know how true this was, that it was her mother who gave Richard Tucker's mother the idea to send him to become a cantor, an apprentice, to go to the local cantor to get voice lessons. That's what she claims.
We all have to thank her for that. The world isn't dead.
Right. So Richard Tucker was famous. His first job, he was a cantor, one of the first jobs in Brooklyn Jewish Center, which is right here on Eastern Parkway. In any event, this article, again, we're talking here about Elena Doria, who was the firm leader of the Metropolitan Opera's Children's Chorus. She just passed away. She took over the Children's Opera after my father already retired or graduated from the Children's Opera at the age of 13. But it brought back memories to, he'll put it here, there was a piece you were hoping you wouldn't have to be on stage for.
I was the understudy for the Shepherd song in the third act of Tosca, which is sung from off stage. And if I was called upon to sing, I would have made $20 for the performance instead of the usual $3 for being in the boys' chorus, which was paid in cash on the spot usually.
So you were apprehensive about going on stage.
Yes, as my voice was changing, and it could have been very bad.
So we want to give our viewers just a taste of.
Let me stand up.
Maybe stand up, right? What that piece would have
Sounded like.
would have sounded like had you been called.
Io de sospiri tenere mano tante per quante foglie ne smuovono riventi. Tu me disprezia mangia coro, lampade d'oro me fai morire.
Oh, you want to tell the camera again where that's from?
This is from Puccini's opera Tosca, which takes place in Rome, and the third act is a very sad and tragic piece. The hero and heroine, they both die in the next few minutes, and this is foreshadowed by the shepherd's song, which talks about impending death, and it's bracketed by the bells of Rome ringing. It's a very evocative period where it's before sunrise, and then the city comes alive to some extent.
Well, what is that? What are those words? What does that mean?
I have no idea. It's Italian.
Well, what's it meant?
The last word is muri, is death. Morte, whatever. It's the same in French. So the shepherd, he's only thinking about the deep verities of life, I suppose.
Uh-huh. Well, that's very beautiful, and we're sure.
Maybe you'd like to hear something a little more upbeat.
Well,
from the local party entertainer shows up on the street entertaining the children, and everyone gathers around and they say,
Rosso, un tacchino, vedere non si già tavola,
Echo Papignol. His name was Papignol. Echo Papignol, Papignol, Papignol. I don't remember the words. Echo Papignol, 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 Papignol. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Echo Papignol, 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 Papignol. And then they follow him off stage.
Which opera was that from?
La Boheme by Puccini.
By Puccini.
First act.
Uh-huh.
Children are usually on stage in the first act. The composers had Rahmanis on them. They had to go home and go to sleep. So they put them in the first act.
Right. Now, when you went to the opera, I guess it was by night, you went by yourself?
I usually went by the subway by myself from Kings Highway to 42nd Street, but it came out, the entrance to the subway was right on the corner of the Opera House at 39th Street. And then when I came home, I would wait at the station and call home on this payphone. You put in 10 cents. I would let it ring once and then hang up and get back my dime. And then Bobby Ruth would come with the car and pick me up. So I would wonder, did she hear the one ring? Did she not hear it? Sometimes I would try again, let it ring again.
But
It
you
usually
were
worked.
so you were 9 years old. You went to Manhattan by yourself.
I believe so, yeah.
It wasn't a problem in
And
those
these were
days.
school nights too.
Oh,
But
you had
we
to.
managed. It was very unusual. I didn't tell any of my friends that I was doing this.
Well, why not?
I felt a little embarrassed. I'd go going on stage in tights and stuff like that.
You didn't want them to. So it's kind of a secret or a.
A secret.
Uh-huh.
And they never showed up in the audience. Nobody blew my cover.
Right. All right. Well, we really very moving indeed. What's going on? Sunday, August 7, 2016. Over and out. Bye.